Welcome to the Brass Neck Podcast, brought to you by No Mean Radio here in the Variety Bar on Sucky Hall Street. My guest today is small in stature, but massive in personality. We discuss awkward encounters with Grado, being a bodyguard to the stars at 3'10", George Square crucifixions, armed robbery at a funeral, and how one phone call from a Glasgow legend can lead to a life in show business. He is, of course, my pal, Chris Toal. A fine wee lass, a bonny wee lass, it's bonny wee Jeannie McCall. I gave her my mother's engagement ring and a bonny wee tartan shawl. I met her at a wedding in the Cooperative Hall. I was the best man and she was the belle of the ball.
Brilliant.
So, let's just get straight in. I spoke to you the other day, and there's a subject that I'm quite passionate about that we just need to get. Let's just start strong and talk algorithms.
Do you not want to introduce me first?
We know who you are.
All right,
I'll do that after. The algorithm is far more important because it really heavily involves you and one of my biggest passions in life.
Dwarfism.
Dwarfism. I mean, it's always been something that I've cared deeply about. Call it a fetish if you want.
Well,
I mean, just call it a fetish because that's what it is.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, is it a fetish if you fancy normal height woman?
I think maybe not for me, maybe for you.
It's starting to become a fetish, isn't it?
Does that? I have never thought about that. Like if I say that I'm attracted to little people, it's a fetish. But if a little person is attracted to
a tall person, is that a fetish? Actually, I don't know. I'm just attracted to everybody, Jester. You know me, fuck
you.
I'm a horny man.
You're a horny little beaver man. A little beaver man.
Beaver man.
So let's just explain what I'm talking about here, right? In fact, I'll let you explain it because you're the catalyst of this whole thing.
Right, so I like to fuck up my mates' algorithms, as Jester says, whenever I find like ludicrous gore videos or anything on Instagram or folk getting their heads chopped off or something. I send it to Grado.
Yes.
Right, because I like to annoy Grado that way.
Aye.
Right, but Grado sends me all these gay things.
Well, aye.
He's trying to mess up my algorithm as well, but I don't know how it came on to it. I think it must have, I think your phone listens to you, Jester. I do.
Everything listens to me. Right. I'm fair to all it.
And
it's too much.
I don't know, maybe I've been talking to somebody about being a dwarf or something like that, and then the next thing I go onto Instagram and all of a sudden it's all these wee sexy AI dwarf women. Oh. So I thought to myself, I know the very person for that.
and you're not fucking up my algorithm.
I'm fixing your algorithm.
Very much welcome. But you see, like AI. I mean, they're no AI.
I don't know, mate. I don't know it. I'm the da. No, I'm the old da that can't tell the difference.
No, it's frightening, isn't it?
I know.
But I mean, does it? I kind of reject I reject AI a lot, and I think it's evil. But sometimes it comes in handy for me when you're sending me little. Like a team of little sexy women with Daisy Duke shorts on and fishnets and cowboy boots with hair that are longer than the height of them. Oh,
exactly,
man,
they look like Cousin It shaved to the front.
It's a tripping hazard, and I'll be there to pick them up. I will be there to catch you as you fall.
Don't trip into my lap, pen.
I will catch you as you fall.
Run you a nice warm sink.
Oh my God. Give them a massage with one of the wee Vaselines.
A deodorant bottle, one of the roll-on deodorant bottles. Enjoying that hen.
Oh my God, that is the dream. That is just the dream. But when I was talking to you the other night about doing this, you just sent me a message saying let's fix that algorithm.
Yes, I did.
And fix it, you did.
So I do need to say, right, although I'm obviously a dwarf, right, I've never met very many other dwarfs.
I have met more dwarfs than you.
Aye, 100%. I remember one night we were in the cat house, always, and a dwarf lassie came in, and you would have thought that it was fucking Beyonce that had walked in. I was like, oh my God, man, another one.
And you didn't know it today. You were all shy. And I was like, did I talk to her? Can I go and say hello to her? I was like, you tell me. I don't know. That's the kind of questions I should be asking myself.
Sammy gets excited when I see an old dwarf because I get excited when I see an old dwarf. And she's always laughing at it. But it's fun.
It is quite. I mean, so when you think about it, you don't see a lot of people.
You don't. And do you know something? It's still the only disability that is socially acceptable to make funny.
I think I'm because I know you.
Aye.
I feel like I've been given the card to be able to do it.
You've got the M card.
I've got the M card. Never say the M word.
Hey, that's our word.
But it's like now and again, like there is obviously certain times that you see more than normal. Christmas.
Aye.
Right.
And I've still never been asked. Never been asked to do a grotto.
Right,
Never been asked to do anything.
But tell me this, like, even because Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at the Kings, they weren't all,
They were all AI.
Glaswegian. They weren't.
They were all the eye, mate.
No, they weren't, because I had them in my house.
I bet you did.
Did I not?
What was it? I was saying there, like, it's socially acceptable, blah, blah, blah. What did you say there? Because it put something into my head.
Socially acceptable. Seeing more at different times of the year, or
That's it. So what I say is, my idea was I want to do a grotto, maybe do it next year, where I'm Santa and I've got full grown elves.
brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? I think that would attract a lot of folk, would you?
Absolutely brilliant. And I'll tell you what, like, I think that like flipping it on its head and making it funny. Like, for example, talking about panto, I for years have said I would love to do Peter Pan, obviously so that I can play Captain Hook. But I think it would be fantastic if Grado was Peter Pan.
Aye. Peter Pan bread.
Peter Pan. But the suit's too wee for him. His belly's hanging out. Like, you see the guys that are controlling the ropes getting pointed onto the stage. Like, you know, like in Austin Powers when it starts, it's just him. Like, isn't this just magical? I think it'd be hilarious. The silhouette and it's Grado with his belly.
You know full well if they ever do Peter Pan, Stephen's Peter Pan. You know that, don't you?
Oh, I mean, aye. Oh, well, or Scott.
Aye, Scott, in fact, maybe.
Peter Pan.
Scott's got the pipes to sing and all, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
yes. He's in the theme tune. That's him going, hey.
Is it?
Aye, I called him in for some
I really enjoyed the panto this year, mate. I have to say, you singing that Lady Gaga song was the highlight.
Well, let me tell you, you should have seen the breakdowns I was having during rehearsals for that, because I was going, right, it's always been funny. I've always had Stephen and Grado as my sidekicks and blah, blah. This is me on the stage. Not myself, but like, it's a big, and it's not a song that's meant to be funny.
Well, you've got dancers, but you're yourself.
But like every other song's been funny, like Uptown Funk or whatever else. But this one wasn't meant to be funny, and I was like, if it's no funny, it needs to be good.
Aye.
And
Mate,
man, it was a big
see when it
learning curve for me.
started and you come on, right? So we're sitting, Sammy and I are sitting with Paul McColl's next to us. And the music starts, and I was like to Sammy, is a Jester going to sing a song here? Right? And that Dallas and Neil are at the opposite side for us, right? And you started singing, and I'm like, he is. Look how excited I'm getting talking about it, right? So I'm like, he is. And I turned round, and Neil's literally hanging off the seat, killing himself laughing, and you would have thought it was fucking Dallas's hero that was on the stage. He was like, pure,
I tell you what, man, it's like, and I totally, even during rehearsals, the first time I done it, Stephen, Grado, Scott, they all burst out laughing, right? And it was like, don't put them up. And I was like, I know they're not laughing at me. It's because
the ludicrousness of the situation.
Because I'm having to do it seriously, and you don't expect that. And it was a full dance routine as well. Like I was doing the lot, right? But I'm like, it's me trying to do it and no laugh. But just on the subject of you being the audience, like I love it, because I think it was like 89,000 people came to see it this year from start to finish. So not very often you're just performing you can see the audience, you don't know a lot of people, but see when you look out and you spot. I spotted you and Sammy.
Did you?
Aye, I spotted you and Sammy.
It's the same like when we do the live shows, the live podcasts at the Pavilion. Whereas technically the crowd are a lot more lubricated, shall we say. And like when you look out, you can see folk, and see when they clock that you clock them. It's like a fucking magnet. See, for the rest of the show, you're kind of looking at the same people all the time, and it kind of throws me off a wee bit.
Well, I deliberately, if I know you're sitting in box A, I won't look up, because then then it's like I'm doing it for one person. It knocks me off, so I kind of have to ignore everybody and just perform. But if you look out and just organically spot one of your pals, it's especially if you don't know they're there, because that means that they've known. Called you up for tickets or trying to get comps. Like, you just look out and you go, he's chosen to come, or she's coming to she's chosen to come see here. And it's nice because all the thousands of people, just seeing like one or two people dot about that you know, well, it's lovely.
Grado and Stephen were telling me that they clocked Shamer in the crowd.
That's become a game.
He was kicking every ball with ease and all.
He's brilliant, because they didn't know he was in. And he never tells us. That's what I love about it as well. He doesn't go, I'm here, or can I get tickets? He's just there. And it just gives you like a charge. And even at the end, when we're doing the kind of big finale thing, and I'm going like, so he's dancing. It's great, man. It's absolutely brilliant. But you know what? That theatre's a magical place. I've done theatres out of the country with wrestling. There's nothing like it.
No, there isn't. I would agree with that. I actually quite liked the one that we done for. It was a was it Blockbuster Wrestling? We done it.
Bathgate? No.
No. It wasn't. It was an old kind of. It was my last ever wrestling show.
I don't know.
I fucking can't remember. But it was a nice venue anyway.
Aye, but theatres are kind of strange because sometimes you get the big long pit.
Paisley.
It
was Paisley, I'm sure.
Oh God, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But obviously we're talking about all the mad stuff I've done. The first time I met you. I don't think it is the first time. You said it was in the garage. You spoke to me.
My memory of meeting you for the first time is. Now, I need to tell you, I had been going to ICW for a long time and enjoying it. And yous were like fucking WWE wrestlers to me at the time, you know what I mean? So like, when you were standing at a bar at the garage and I come up to you and I'm talking away, and I had just been asked to do Oran War.
Yes.
No, the Kelvin Brawl.
Brawl, that was the first one.
Oran War was the first one, Kelvin Brawl was the second one. Kelvin Brawl was the last one that Robin.
Oh, was it really? I thought it was the other way about.
No, and so my first ever indie wrestling show in Scotland was Oran War that I went to.
Right, okay.
Right, so that's where you think that we met for the first time.
That is where I thought we met for the first time.
Right, so my memory is I come up to you at the garage and I was like, listen, you're going to be part of Team Hemphill.
Yep.
I'm actually in it as well. And you're like, all right, what you doing? I was telling you, Greg had messaged me on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day. I'm doing another wrestling show. I want you to be my bodyguard. And I was like, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. And like you say, this show's called The Brass Neck.
Yeah.
So I went into that thinking, right, just go in, be yourself. If they don't like you, they don't like you. In for a penny, in for a pound kind of thing.
Yep.
And I remember the first thing that I'd done in the show, I get in the ring and Shamer, it was actually funny enough. He was Adam Shame at the time, and I pull Rab off Greg for the pin. Rab gets up, I push Rab, but he comes in behind me, Shamer, backs me into a corner, drops to his knees and sticks a head on me.
Right, aye.
Right, so I'm like, before I was like, how do I take it? He's like, right, just turn your head, I'll no make contact with you. I'm like, right, no boss. So get in the ring, done it, and he carried me back. He picked me up over his shoulder and he carries me backstage. I was like, was that all right, mate? He went, aye. He says, are you all right? I went, aye. He went like, well, where's the blood coming from then? He'd fucking split my eyebrow.
Aye.
So he had,
your eyebrow is a very easy. Almost every wrestler I know has got a scar. I've got one right under it because if you hit it hard enough, it just splits, but it splits right to the bone.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like such a clean cut.
So I think because I never made a song and dance about that, they were maybe like, well, do you know what? Maybe he's all right. He's no kind of prima donna thing like that. And I took my injury and got on with it. But it went on for air, and as you know.
Aye. But even that, like you're saying, like, I mean, I remember the first time I saw Greg at a wrestling show. It was in Ayr, Citadel Ayr. And like that was, you're like, my God, like Greg, because we're all, I mean, we're all mega fans of
Make no
Chewing the
mistake
Fat
about it, mate. Still Game and Chewing the Fat are absolutely in with the wood in Scotland. They're Scottish national treasures, the two of them.
And we're really protective of it, and we're really
100%.
passionate about it. And it's like it's one of these shows that I can never imagine a time where I can't put it on, even just in the background, or still watch it and laugh, because it's we know them.
Exactly, and it doesn't.
I don't mean we know the actors
the characters.
now, but we all know a Winston, we all know a Tam, we all know an Isa, Jack, and
exactly. That's what I was going to say. We've all grew up with
we've
people
all
like
worked in
them.
pubs. Like you work in it. Like I used to work in the Licala bar with Wolfie and Rudo and all that. And we had in the bar we had a big long kind of couch, and it was called Death Row, right? Because that just
if you
people
come in on a Monday and somebody wasn't there.
They were just whittling down. And Barry actually went to Costco and bought a skeleton and put a bonnet on it, and he was called Barnabas the Barfly. But these old men, there was an old guy called Jackie. I used to go, I'm jealous of him. I can't wait till I'm at that point, because when I say he didn't care, he did not care. He'd come in the morning, he'd start on Magners, but at a certain time he'd jump to Bacardi and
so he had his wee what do you call it?
What?
Itinerary.
Oh, every day it was exactly the same. But he would come in, he'd be at the hospital appointment. I go, how'd you go to the hospital? Shite. I went, oh, you all right? Aye. I went, what do you mean? He's like, I am all right. He goes, I've got nothing wrong with all my pals have got cancer. Or I'm like, are you jealous that you've not got cancer? Like, just a different thought process. But so Greg, And I suppose this is kind of doing the line of the subject I'm talking about as well. Greg messaging you and saying he wants you to be his bodyguard.
Aye.
Now, you could have taken that two ways.
Oh, of course.
Right? You could have went, he's taking the piss out of me, but you haven't ever been like that.
Never, but also I've always been a fan of professional wrestling as well. And I know what the spectacle is. And the minute he said that, I knew what height is he, 6'4"?
Oh, he's a big boy,
right, so 6'4", and he's got me standing next to him as his bodyguard.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
It's hilarious.
It's the visual joke there. And like you say, don't get me wrong. See, back in the day when I was at school, I was fighting for my life, man.
I can imagine, mate. I can imagine.
But I had a right good group of mates around about me that took care of any shit for me.
And that must have made you bomb-proof now. Like, to go through a Glasgow school and have every slagging and it's about something that you can't control.
It's
different
worse
me getting
in Glasgow,
slagged.
mate,
I chose to look like this, right? No this, but at school I had long hair and makeup. Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
But you didn't choose
to
be short.
No, right? I obviously I didn't. But folk say now, like, if you could change it, would you? I wouldn't have, because my ma brought me up. My ma instilled into me like that. My ma's had the sharpest tongue ever, mate. The sharpest tongue ever, right? And I cannot take after her because I'm quick. Right?
Oh, aye, you are very quick.
And I can diffuse situations with my tongue, or I can make situations 100 times worse. As you know.
Oh, let's get into that down the line.
With my tongue. But let's get back to how we met first, because we've not actually answered, right? So I come up to you at the bar and I was saying I'm going to be in Team Hempo and stuff like that. And this lassie comes over and she's rabbiting, all right, Toal, how you doing? And rabbiting on and talking about you, and I'm like, who's this crackpot, man? And you turned at me and were like, that's Dallas's missus. I was like, how you doing? How you doing?
Do you know something? Back then?
Me and Sammy were talking about Helen last night, and see Helen, she's one of the funniest people ever, man.
Aye.
Her patter is unbelievable. So we've got a group chat, right? And she doesn't post in it, but then she'll come in one day and drop something, and you're like, she's just so funny. She's a genuine hilarious
and let me
person.
and you know, I know, like, it's no an easy job to be engaged, married, to go out with a wrestler or
never mind that. Mark Dallas.
Well, that's what I mean. That's a different league, because not only Dallas wasn't just a wrestler, but Dallas, created this whole world that we all entered and benefited from, and
absolutely,
and to not only be the creator of that, but to constantly come up with ideas, and it does consume. Wrestling has consumed my life since I was 16. I can't stop thinking about it.
You know, though, that Dallas is 100 mile an hour, 100% of the day,
all the time.
His brain's just working overtime and stuff like that now, and all the time, and you can tell the creativity that the guy has because of storylines like the Black Label and the Gold Label, even before then, and stuff like that.
And it was a full-time, non-stop, never-ending storyline.
2 years. 2 years it ran for.
Yep.
You couldn't miss an episode.
No.
You could not miss a show, because if you missed a show, there's a chance that you're going to miss a part of ICW history every single time that we done a show.
Every week. And I don't think anybody really has got any idea how... It's not. I was time-consuming. Disney even cover it.
No,
it is literally for the second you wake up to second, and that it takes its toll on your time. Now imagine living with somebody and having a son that's young growing up, and you're dealing with that. And Helen somehow managed to always do it kind of flawlessly. And I've said to Dallas, I don't know how many times, because he'll phone, and he's a nightmare, right? He is. We're all nightmares. But he'll phone up and he'll say he's coming to meet me for an hour, and that's not going to happen. Then it's 2 hours, and then I'll be back at some point in the day. And like I'm always waiting for like an argument on the phone, and she's just like, all right, neighbour, just let me know what's happening. And I'm like, you don't. He does know how lucky he is, but that is they work with each other.
Aye,
do you know what I mean?
That's what it should be. Like you say there, I can count on one hand the amount of people that I know that are still with their original partner when I met them through wrestling.
Aye.
Fuck's sake, you went through the phone book.
I can count on one finger.
No, me and Dallas.
Are you and Dallas? Aye, 2 fingers.
Aye, 2 fingers.
Which is
and that's your
impressive.
famous pose, bro.
That's my famous pose.
2 fingers.
But it's so I remember it was the Oran War.
Yeah.
And there was a curtain with like a spiral staircase that took you up to where we were getting changed, and you've started talking to Grado. Now Grado doesn't know you at this point. Grado is famously the most awkward.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he just doesn't. He can't control what he comes out of his mouth. He can't control how to put it back. Like, for example, like you go for dinner with Grado, the most normal thing you could ever do. We go to Amalfi's every Saturday during the panto. And every week, I'm like, just calm down. And we go in, and I'll say, I'll have I'll have the mac and cheese, Stephen will have the chicken wings, blah, blah, blah. It gets to Grado, and Grado promises himself he's not going to do it, but jumps into our routine. Oh, kind Italian gentleman, what can you offer me today from your varied... He starts to this, and I'm looking at him, and you can see him going, stop me, I don't know what I'm doing. But then eventually he stopped doing it, he was going, Parmesan, the Parmigiano, make it too much. Give me too much. Offend me. So the guy's doing that. And then when it's stopped and he's escaped it, the guy will walk away. And I remember the guy walked away and I've went, and then Grado's went, when the moon... Then he stands up and starts singing That's Amore. The place is mobbed and I'm going, what exactly is it you're doing? And he's not meaning it. He's just so
almost like he's
awkward.
trying to get himself fucking finished.
But he doesn't mean it. He says, I'm not going to do it. And then you ask him a question and instead of just going, can I have lasagna? He's singing That's Amore and talking about asking what they serve in the hills of
Sicily.
Sicily and all that. Like, it's crazy.
I've got one for you, right? So we done a show in Greenock, and it was at the Greenock Arts place, whatever.
The Beacon.
Beacon. It's beautiful surroundings and all that, right? And so Grado decided that he was going to have a bottle of wine, and then he realised that he had the car, so he decided he had to stay. There's a hotel right outside.
I've seen this behind the scenes footage on the podcast.
Right, so he's went into the hotel and he's told the guy, he says, have you got a room for me? The guy says, aye, and the guy shows him up to his room. So Grado decides, one, test the bed with the owner of the hotel. Him and the owner of the hotel are in the fucking bed together, and he's filming it and all that for backstage on Apex. But like you say, he takes something and he pulls a wee string, and then he goes like, oh, this is going to keep going and keep going and keep going.
And
but
he doesn't know where to cut it.
Gets to the point where the jumper's ruined.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? But he's still pulling that string into.
He's a nightmare. But this time in the Oran Moor, you're talking to him. Now, it's funny even thinking about it now because Grado coming in contact with you the first time, you're just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. But that to Grado would have blown his mind. So he's doing that thing where he's going, aye. Oh, listen, oh, no, I'll see you. Doing this. And then you've went, right, no bother, Grado, catch you later. And he went, no, nice to meet you.
See you later, big man.
He went like, nice to meet you too, big man. And then just turned around to me and he's gone,
why did I say that? I know.
of all the closing sentences,
it's just a Glasgow term, but innit, man?
It is. But again, I think that's the thing. Like, you could, I suppose, every day of your life, you could take exception to this or that. So, talking about mad situations we've been led into, right? So, we met through wrestling, then the BBC documentaries came up, right? I'll tell a few ones that weren't quite on you first, right? So, for example, end of the scene in Insane Fight Club 2, we're talking about publicity stunts, right?
Yep.
So, we took you to get a spray tan with the cast of Geordie Shore.
That's right.
And so you've went into the room and I've pulled the beautician to the side and I've went, whatever you normally do, don't dilute it and give him 4 coats. Right? So but then even watching it now, they put the Willy Wonka theme out. Have you noticed that? Come with me. And it's you and a wee booth getting run sealed down. Right? Absolutely. And you're going, right, hold on, and the Geordie Shore guys are going, no, it'll look dark a bit. And I'm going like that. I'm going like, 2 more coats. Yeah. So you've come out, and I'm going, what is he going to do when he finds out it was me that came up with this? So, but that was on me. Then we had the pram.
Remember though, when I've come out and on Insane Fight Club, if you see it, this is something that you would never say now.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
I don't consider it a bad thing or anything like that. I just came out and I was wearing my glasses and I had the pure brown face and I looked like Trevor McDonald, remember?
Because you went, and now for the news.
But somebody went like that. That's what I said.
Aye. Listen.
Do you know that show got 1 complaint to Ofcom?
Was it that?
No.
What was it?
It was me jumping out the pram.
What?
Remember?
I remember
that.
So we're trying to get we're trying to sell this show down in Newcastle. We did a publicity stunt. So we did the spray tan thing, which was for the documentary because we're with the Geordie Shore guys, like living their life. Mind we went to that Bijou club that night as well.
That's right. And they were drinking shots of water.
Turns out they all drink shots of water because we were going what, and it was like we don't actually drink because we're doing it so often. So I was like, Right, no chance, right?
Exactly.
And they weren't welcome places either. Like, they
No,
weren't.
they weren't.
We thought they were going to be like heroes down there, but there's certain places they couldn't go to. Bijou was the place they filmed in.
Aye.
And they took Kerry as the whole night, remember? Like,
Aye.
and we were absolutely bloated.
Fucking hell. Man. I
Bloated.
remember going outside and Dallas was... Drew phoned Dallas asking how the filming was going. And he's like, he heard me in the background. He's like, I was told down there. He's like, I think it was the production company asked for me, I think it was.
Aye.
Asked for me. And he's like, fuck, let's see how that turns out. I don't think Drew really knew me at that time. And
No, because it would have been kind of.
but we had a night out no long after that, me and Drew in Dallas, and
Uh-huh.
he fucking knows me now. Tell you.
Aye. So we're doing there promoting this thing, obviously getting footage for the documentary, and we thought it would be great if I was pushing a buggy through Newcastle, and then my
I think
phone.
it was actually me that came up with it. They asked me to come up with
very,
ideas
very
for it.
possibly. But I remember we didn't have a buggy, and they were on like Gumtree. We were at a caravan park, and they were on Gumtree trying
That's
to find
right.
a buggy. So they went and get this buggy. I've put Toal into the buggy and pulled the canopy there. And then it's me.
All the way over, so you
All the
can't
way
see
there.
me at all.
So I've pushed a pram through Newcastle, and then my phone's went, and I went, hello, and I've walked away. So the pram's just, so a buggy sitting in the middle of a high street. Folk were starting to look in, and then we could hear.
I remember I was starting to do the
you were
baby
going- you were
noises.
going,
and all.
We're like, we want somebody to go there and lift that canopy up, right? So we went back, and you see people going, somebody left a pram out there. Oh, that's a baby in a pram. And then the canopy's kind of flying open, and he's going like, all right, Hen, do you like wrestling? And he's giving it flyers.
Flyers and all that, remember?
Right? It was so
That
good.
was the complaint that went to Ofcom.
When you've got the spray tan Trevor McDonald bit.
Exactly. I can't. I'm
Well-
not too proud of that. Actually, I think about it.
Well, funny. Well, listen, see, I'm so glad that it didn't go with my idea because I don't even know
What
if you know
was
about this. This was actually for George Square. It was one of the ones in Glasgow. I thought,
Oh, no.
no one of Dallas said no. We're in the caravan. We're going, what about this? What about that? We ended up doing the pillow fight.
Aye.
Right?
I remember
I
the
didn't do it,
pillow
but
fight,
Wolfie and I did. And I thought, what if we cover Toal in honey and cover him in birdseed and crucify him in George Square?
I wonder why he chose against that.
Well, I mean, it was an idea.
I know,
Do you know what I
but
mean?
You're aware that if you cover me in birdseed in George Square, I'm not coming out of that alive.
No, but I was thinking like the birds would just like peck the seed off you.
No, they wouldn't. That's the
Right,
thing. Because
right.
have you seen Home Alone 2? You remember what happened to Marvin
Have I
Harry?
seen Home Alone? Aye, well, aye. Well, listen, it was well, just a couple of ideas, right? And it was like that would have been. I think it would have got attention.
Oh, certainly. For my lawyer.
Oh my god! So this was, but back then we were really throwing ideas out. Like it was Jackass, right? Nothing was out of bounds,
right.
and we had to come up with everything.
That pillar fight, what you say, I know obviously you weren't there, but I remember the state of George Square at the
It was
end of
a,
that.
no,
It
what-
was. How did we not get done for that?
exactly. But see, now you
Aye.
would think of that and go, the feathers will be everywhere. But we just,
Aye.
but it's not that we didn't care. It was just like
We wanted it to
we-
be like that.
aye, and we didn't get any hassle with climbing the Wellington statue and putting the ICW cone on the
See, to tell you a wee
The
story about that pillar fight, right? Again, you weren't there, but I'm probably certain that you know about this. They all had a bet on to see who could knock me down.
Oh really?
Aye, and Davy Blaze went for it full fucking full pelt, man. He got all the feathers down to the bottom of the pillow.
Oh aye, so it's
And
solid.
but I've got a dead low centre of gravity, and if I know that a hit's coming, I can brace myself. See, if I don't know a hit's coming, I'm away. I'm down in my arse like nobody's business, right? But if I know it's coming, and could Blaze get me off my feet? Could they fuck me?
No, but it was
Could
getting
he
raging
fuck-
as well.
That was a great day, actually. We all went to the booze and all that
we
after.
did so many cool things. But, see, but on the subject of like the pram being your idea,
Right.
What do you make? Because it really annoys me. What do you make of people being offended on your behalf?
That's it. I think people like to be offended on anybody's behalf
Yep.
now, mate, and that's a massive reason why the world's in the state it's in now.
Aye.
And I don't want to get into too much political stuff, but you understand what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
You know
about.
what
And
I
it's
mean?
because I've experienced, not me personally, but like we when we did Butlins, when I did Butlins years ago, we had a wrestler called Little Legs, right? Who was,
A prick.
Well, aye, he was a prick. He was, but he really didn't take well to.
Aye.
No, I get it, right? Like kids would be pointing at him, and I'm like, but you're in Butlins.
Exactly.
Kids don't see this, so they think that you're the same as Bob the Builder. Like you're a character. Plus, 20 minutes ago, you were dressed in a
Well,
leotard, riding a 45-stone man like a horse. So
That's my point, right? See what you're saying there about kids are pointing at them and stuff like that, right? I used to get it quite a lot, and it would annoy me. It would annoy me,
Aye,
right?
of
But I
course.
wouldn't have a go at a Wayne or anything, which little legs used to.
Aye,
Remember?
aye, aye.
So what I done was, see, when I started to be in the public eye, and I would see people, a lot of people would like walk by me and like snigger and stuff like that, right? Now I just go, oh, they must know me for something, and that changes my mindset.
Changes your mind. Aye.
You know what I mean? I don't know that they know me for something. Like, for example, one of the first times you and I were out, me, you and Neil were in the garage,
Yes.
and somebody come up to us in the garage and went like that, can I get a photo with you? And I went like that, why?
Mhm.
And they couldn't give me an answer.
Well, I've seen that happen.
Right.
Mind in Newcastle when you
Aye.
were outside. We were outside like a Tesco extra or something,
Mhm.
and you were just vaping outside,
Aye.
and this lassie came running across the road,
Aye.
hands on her knees, were like, "Oh my God, I love you, and you went, "Why?" And you stumped her
That's
because until that point she didn't realise that what she was doing
Was offensive,
was
right.
offensive, right?
It's-
But you can take it, so you went, "Why?" And she went, and I remember her. You could hear the
cogs
the
going in
cogs
the
working, and she went, because you vape too, and you just went like
That's
that. You
right.
just went like that. Aye, of course it is. And walked away. She was stood there devastated, man, absolutely devastated.
Man, it's funny how like they wee things like stick in your mind as well. Aye, it's Neil always talks about that. Like
Aye.
when he goes, when I said to the person why, and
Aye.
they had no answer for it. Basically,
I saw a child pick Little Legs up one time at a signing, and he punched them. Because I'm going, I get it, because he was like a 38-year-old, right?
See,
And
if
it was like,
an adult, I could understand, but you don't have to win.
but a kid, I'm like, I get that Wayne's are rude, right? But that's not really them; it's their parents that you know. It's like Wayne's that are running about daft in a restaurant. They're children.
See,
It's the parents.
That night we went to the bare knuckle boxing. Mind the guy tried to pick me up
Aye.
outside that as well.
That's right. I mean,
I'm like-
what in your right
But
mind
he did
thinks that
say
that's
to me, "Do you mind if I pick you up?" And I went, "Aye, I do."
Aye.
And he kind of had already started, and then went, "All right, no bother."
Aye,
You know what I mean?
Don't wait until my feet are off the deck and then
Aye,
ask me.
exactly.
But even that,
I'm on your
what,
shoulders, mate.
but what possesses a person to go up and go, "Can I pick you up?" But
Exactly.
it really is.
Exactly.
It's like it used to happen to Little Legs as well. Like folk would like stand and put a pint in his head, and you go, that's shocking behaviour. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
that's the last time we got a flat top.
I get worked up right after that. But the on that subject, we I think it's Dane people. This the Peter Dinklage thing about how, you know, and but then you've got like Hornswoggle and stuff going. You're an arsehole because you're doing us because you think it's wrong and you've got the name. We don't get contacted for this stuff anymore.
No, exactly.
But we used to go to like Benidorm, right? You know how much I love Benidorm. And there's a bar called Chaplin's, and there used to be a guy who would dress up as Charlie Chaplin outside and give out flyers and blah blah blah. But this person, if you knew Benidorm, you would go. He had his own stripper act and all that, and it was like, and it was Benidorm's a different place, so it's marketed
Mate, it's
different
the same,
to here, right?
Aye, it's the same like Salou. Like we went to a magic show in Salou years and years ago, and outside it was odd worse,
Aye.
or handing out stuff and all that, and you're like, are we magical? Are we a magical race?
I believe so. I mean, I certainly believe so.
Well, you've known me not long enough now.
but the point of the matter is, this is an adult
Aye.
who is living in Benidorm.
He can make his own decisions.
Aye.
He's making money.
Aye. I used to say to Little Legs, I was like, people complain. I mean, that's disgraceful. I mean, do you think we've captured him?
Exactly.
Like,
That's the thing.
he's a 38-year-old man. Nobody's forcing him to do this stuff. Like, this is his living.
See
You know what I
what-
mean? But
see
he,
one
but he
thing-
could lose his job for Butlins if Butlins get a complaint and they go, people don't like it. Therefore, he's unemployed.
Exactly.
It's terrible, and it's like just.
There's been a few times that I've had like experiences like that. We went to Vegas once, and Jester, you would have loved this, man. Right, we went to Vegas, and we were at the Hard Rock Hotel
Yep.
for the pool party on the Sunday, and this wee dwarf guy come through, and he had a full scale tiger. He was just holding it on a leash, a full scale tiger,
and
his
a
manager,
grown tiger.
a real tiger.
Right. Yeah.
Right, like walking it along around the pool and all that. Now this thing must have been trained to within an inch of its life, right? Because if that decides to go, that wee
Drugged up
guy's
to within an
going
inch of
where,
its life.
right? And if it
Teeth up
decides
out
to eat him, he's fucked.
He's gone. Aye.
Right.
That's a one. That's a morsel.
But
That's a.
it's his decision. It's his
It
decision to
is.
do it.
Of course it is.
You know what I mean? And if
course it
he
is.
doesn't want to do it, then fine. I know that as soon as I get into wrestling, I was like, right, folk are going to now know me in the street for wrestling. And then TV came along.
Yep.
And then the podcast came along. And bizarrely, the podcast is the thing that most people recognise me for now, right? But it's my decision to make. And I know everything that comes along with it. Like, when I went for Big Brother,
Yep.
right, they sat me down with a psychologist, and the psychologist is like that to me. How you going to feel when you're on a train on the way into Glasgow and folk recognise you. And I went like, mate, I get hundreds of attention as it is already, and it's nothing to do with being on Big Brother.
Aye.
See if I can then meet people and they know me from something, and we've got that common ground, and it's not just somebody going, I want to talk to him because he's a dwarf, or I want to talk to him because he's an M-word.
Aye, well, aye.
Don't say it, don't you say it.
Listen, I will not. Never will I say that word.
Never. Even in the house when I'm on my own with my other mates that talk about them.
Aye. You say it all the time, how can I not say it?
That's our word.
But see that, like the wrestling thing, people could be forgiven for thinking that it's exploitative.
Aye.
Of course, it is absolutely your choice. Everything is your choice. And I think it's insulting for anybody to think that you could be led into something that you didn't want to be.
What I like was the fact that although I did do a lot of like kind of dressing up as other wrestlers. I dressed up as you.
You dressed up as me, and you had a normal sized corkscrew.
Yes, that was my idea
Hilarious.
as well.
Of course, it was your idea. You have pitched more ideas to us than we've ever pitched to you.
Oh, that's
You've
it.
Let's what's the stuff that you've dressed up as?
Right, so CM Punk.
CM Punk.
You. Who else did I do? Yoda, get my jaw broke.
You did, if not, I'm there.
Aye, that's right.
He mistimed the kick because you had a mask on.
I had a mask on, so he didn't know exactly where my head was. And Kenny Williams hit me at the top of my head, and Noam Dar hit me at the bottom of my head, and my jaw just went whoop right over there.
Literally spinning jaws.
But it's the one time that I've ever seen Big Dunk concerned. Can someone go out and check if Toal's still alive?
Aye. I never fucking got that. I was bleeding to death all the time.
Remember what he was literally bleeding to death.
I was impaled.
Fucking let him get on with it.
Anyway. Exactly. So I dressed up as stuff. But
that gets me back to my point. Right, sorry, I was saying that I dressed up as stuff, right? But I was never the butt of the jokes in ICW. Never, ever, ever. Right? And when you look at, like, obviously they call it midget wrestlers and stuff like that for America, they were always the butt of the jokes. You know
absolutely
what I mean?
is a full show.
And
It's their choice as well, but it is the butt of the... You're there to... It's a wee mini wrestling ring.
Yep.
People are there to kind of laugh at it.
I'm not even just talking about that. I'm going back, like, the wrestlers at WrestleMania 3 and all that. Like,
Dink and the Kings. By the way, that is one of my favourite matches of all time. I think
like the King's Court versus...
I think it is. No, I know it's daft and all that, but I just see the way it was done.
Aye.
It was really well done. It was really well planned out. The spots were funny. They were hilarious.
Aye.
I think it's that to me. I go, wrestling it's also got a lot better, but that in a nutshell was absolute nonsense. But you've got Jerry the King Lawler, who's a really serious wrestler. Doink and Dink, who are like silly gimmicks, but they were great.
Jerry Lawler wasn't in the match, was not Shawn Michaels?
No, it wasn't. It was Jerry Lawler and the three mini kings.
What was it that happened then? Because I was watching a documentary the other day, and Jerry Lawler had a match coming up with the King's Court as well, and all the don't talk about it stuff came out, and he got removed.
Oh no, one definitely happened because it was Doink with Dink and Pink and Stink or something. But it was just the way it was done. You could tell there was a lot of written down process for that because they weren't exactly. They might have been wrestlers, I don't know, but it was done really, really well. But the dressing up thing, that you could forgive people for thinking maybe it was exploitative, but then with the podcasting, your height and what you look like has got nothing to do with that. You are very knowledgeable about football, so you're not more knowledgeable than me, right? But that's not really saying much.
That jacket over there's more knowledgeable than you about football. Right?
But you're no. That's three pals. And you all rip into each other and you all slag each other. I don't know if you ever get any comments about, like, you are picking on each other or whatever.
We get one. There was a woman posted a thing on a Scottish football site, and she was going off her head that they bully me. Stephen and Grado bully Toal and all that. It's just three mates sitting in the pub with a pint talking about football. That's all it is.
But the funny thing is, like, you go, that's somebody that really doesn't know anything about any of you.
I actually went on. I messaged that woman. So
because you are just as sharp and brutal as any is. But that's what a Glaswegian group of pals do.
I mean, there's some things that Grado and I, not so much Stephen, me and Grado tend to have wee nips at each other. Aye. And there's some stuff, if we weren't good mates, you would think. Aye. Like there was something I said about Grado. I don't want to repeat it actually, right? But there was something I said about Grado, and Joe Coffey messaged me. He's like, mate, that is the most fucking
cold as ice,
horrendous thing I've ever heard anybody say. But when I said it on the show, Grado started pissing himself off.
But the reason that's able to go through your brain and out your mouth is because you know it's a safe space.
Exactly.
And like I mean, I don't know any pals that I really need to watch my mouth around because we love each other. We're pals.
That's why you need to watch yourself with this podcast.
What do you mean? Forget that I'm being filmed.
I know. Not just that, folk could lose their house.
It's like I'm very much I know nothing. Nothing like that's again. It's the Glaswegian. We're really sharp and really brutal with our humour. We kind of tell people we love them by ripping them to shreds and picking them to bits, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, and I don't think anybody's out of bounds,
No,
right? It's not. But the you going to a wrestling show and then talking to Greg and then meeting us and then ICW and then everything else, blah blah blah. Like that has led you to having a successful podcast, to being on telly. And listen, you're dressing up on telly as well.
Mate, I got to be Donald Trump.
You got to be Donald Trump. You got to be Jimmy Cranky.
Jimmy Cranky, I did. Who else was I? Was she called a wee woman for the Bank of Scotland adverts? Susan Calman, aye. Who, by the way, I'm led to believe is not very pleased about that.
Well.
Fuck
I will. Thought you were a comedian.
Exactly.
Get a funny bone.
That's what I say. You're a comedian, you can't take a joke. Fuck up, you.
I mean? I personally loved when Toal dressed up as me. I thought it was hilarious. Hilarious.
She was raising that I never had a wee wine corkscrew.
A piggy bank. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we get it. You know what I mean?
You're small, we get it.
Grow up.
Yes.
Hey, edit point. So it's like, but these are you've got working with legends.
Oh, mate,
legends.
Like when you say that, we were talking earlier on, Barbara Rafferty, who
she's a rock star, isn't she?
She's the best.
A rock star.
She's the fucking best.
Aye.
You worked with her in the Scots.
Aye.
And she's just an absolute darling of a person, honestly.
She really is. She's done it. She's been there. She's done it. She's done it for a long time. But she's like so supportive and so funny, and she doesn't make you feel like you shouldn't be there. Or
no, absolutely.
She's every day she shows up with her fur jacket on, her Ray-Ban glasses, and you're like, you are a legend.
She is a legend. She's like
royalty. Literally royalty.
She's what I imagine you to be like when you're older. The fur coat and the.
If I can grow up to be Barbara Rafferty. That is I'm happy.
And I've obviously we've both worked with Frankie Boyle.
Yep.
We've worked with me personally. I've worked with John Gordon Sinclair, who obviously was what do you call him? Hangwee's girl, Gregory's girl, and a plethora of other things as well with Rab and Greg.
And if you weren't, and if you had took offence to Rab's message saying, "Do you want to be my bodyguard?"
None of it might have happened.
It's really one of the things. It's like the butterfly effect. I just think to myself, if I hadn't done that, it's unimaginable where my life would be if I hadn't just went and done it. Do you know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
So, but on the note of, no taking offence when you know it's not meant. What would you have? What advice would you have for anybody who is maybe second guessing themselves, or a bit frightened to go do something because they are different, or they feel different, or they've been told they're different?
Well, it was Noam Dar actually that took me to the side at the beginning, and he said to me, he's like, "Listen, mate, you're a commodity. There's nobody else run about here that's able to do what's able to bring what you bring to the show, kind of thing." And at the time, I was like, he's just blowing smoke up my arse. But when I get a wee bit older, a wee bit longer in the tooth, and I realised, do you know what? There maybe isn't many people like me. So, and if you're looking about and there's nobody else like you, and you think that you've got something that nobody else can bring to the table, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what your stature is. It doesn't matter what creed or race or colour you are.
Exactly.
Go out there and show people, and make yourself undeniable.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
It's, if you can do that, then doors open for you, mate. And it's people. It could be just like maybe somebody seeing like that wee hang on Scotch. I remember when we done Insane Fight Club.
Yep.
Right. The next day, I got a phone call for.
Oh, aye.
Right. ITV. Hi, Chris. We seen the documentary last night. Let me ask you: is there any times when you work for Mark Dallas where he doesn't pay you?
Aye. Straight on track. Aye.
Right. And I went like that. I says, no, not at all. All right. Do you think that you could manufacture it for the TV show? And I went like, wait a minute here. I went like, you're expecting me to make my mate look like a deadbeat manager that doesn't pay.
Yep.
They offered us $7,000.
For the benefit
For-
of you,
for
for the benefit
lies.
of you to be in
Exactly, but he wanted Dallas there as well to be the defendant and me to be the accuser.
Who in their right mind would
Right.
imagine Dallas going like $7,000? I am happy to look like a
Aye,
dick.
exactly. Right, so we've just hit this wave. We're not even at the crest of the wave yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we've hit this wave. We're on the way up. We've not done the SECC yet. We've not done the hydro yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. See if we had went and done that, none of that would have happened
No,
because Mark Dallas is then known as
a crook.
a crook. Aye,
Aye.
exactly. A fucking fly-by-night snake oil salesman
Aye.
that'll tell you one thing and do another. And
Which he
we
never
both
has been,
know
by the way.
that's not the
No,
case.
no.
Right?
I mean,
never, ever, ever.
Never even
I learned
slightly like that. You
A
know?
long time ago, never to doubt what comes out Dallas's mouth, even when he's pissed.
Aye. Listen,
You know
there's
what I
been
mean?
loads of stuff he said where I'm just like, come on. And then
Turn
he's
it
went and
up,
done.
and then it happens.
He's
It's-
probably proved me wrong more than
Remember
anybody.
he went like that to us before we had even done the SECC show. He went like, next year we'll be doing the hydro. Aye, right, no borders, and then we announced the hydro at the SEC show.
Aye.
Remember?
Aye.
And it was just. I was
And
like,
he's
fuck me.
and Dallas was a guy who started ICW when he was essentially living in a homeless flat with a pregnant girlfriend.
Yep.
And of all the decisions you could have made in that situation,
I'm starting
a wrestling
promotion.
company is ludicrous. It is insane.
But
You know what I mean? It really is insane.
It is.
And he done it, and that it happened.
But
The rest is history.
I think we were in the midst of a perfect storm at the time.
Aye, we were. Aye.
Look at excuse me. Look at if we go back to that point in time. Look at the amount of people that are now. I mean, there's fucking Drew's the WWE champion.
Yeah. Aye.
Joe Hendry's the NXT champion.
Mhm.
Joe Hendry, who by the way got cut out of Insane Fight Club
Yeah.
because they thought he wasn't entertaining enough.
Aye.
The guy's one of the most entertaining guys on the planet at the moment. So you've got him, you've got Kaylee Ray, you've got Noam Dar, Big Damo's been there.
Kim,
Then Kim as well. Aye, Nikki. Who else? There's more. I know that there's
Noam,
more.
Wolfie,
Aye,
Joe,
Wolfie, Joe,
Mark.
Mark. Aye, they've all been over there, right? Then you've got the ones like myself, yourself, Dallas, who've branched out into TV work and stuff like that. I can't really think of many people that run about that time that haven't went on to better, not better things, but bigger things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
And it's just getting back to the original question that you made. See if you believe that you've got something that adds to something. Go out and show it.
Yep.
There's so many avenues now. You've got YouTube, you've got social media. Alright, social media and that were a thing back then, but they weren't quite as prevalent as they are now.
No.
You know what I mean? So if you go out there, show yourself, show everything you've got to give. If it doesn't catch on, try something else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Try again. You're not going to hit it first time.
No, very,
You're
very
not going to
rarely.
hit it first time. I mean,
Just
like,
keep going. Keep
exactly,
going. Don't
exactly.
give up.
Exactly.
And I think that's an attitude that about that, man. But I think that's a mentality that's probably kind of ingrained in all of us as Scottish people, Glaswegians. So I'm going to ask you the question that I'm going to ask everybody. And that is, give me an example of someone in your family who has done something that even you think is a brass neck.
Right, okay, so right, well,
Choose one. Just one.
I'm gonna go back. A long time here. We're talking about maybe it's probably more than 30 years ago. Right, it was a family member of mine who he ran a boozer.
Okay.
Right, and he phoned his wife and he's like, "I've been held up." What do you mean you've been held up? I thought it was a delivery coming to the back door. I've opened the back door and it's men with shotguns. And they've emptied. Now, I need to preface this by telling you this was the Monday after September weekend, right? So the banks weren't open, right?
God.
And they get robbed. They get everything taken out. The full Thursday, Friday,
Full
Saturday,
takings of the weekend.
Sunday, full weekends takings. And it was a busy boozer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of money, right? So that happens and we were all fucking, oh my God, oh Jesus, Mary and Joseph, how's... That could have been so much worse. They could have been killed, blah, 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 right? So this member of my family died a few years ago. And at the funeral, somebody came up to me. I was like, remember when the pub got robbed? Aye, that was me that done that. What do you mean? Aye, me and that person that's just died, we done it together. Done it for the insurance money, mate.
No!
Now that's a brass neck.
Oh my God! You only found out at his funeral.
At his funeral, mate.
No, not only did he not tell you, but the guy came up
Yes.
at his funeral and went like, I mean him
No,
as if it was
I brought it up to the guy
and he went, oh, it was me.
because I'll tell you why, right? The guy was the bouncer,
Oh my
right?
God.
And the reason the thing with he get taken in for questioning because there was fingerprints all over the office.
Right.
And he's like, but I'm the bouncer.
Of course my fingerprints are there. It's the perfect crime.
There you go.
Ah,
Don't you be getting any ideas, boy?
Listen, Glasgow's it's the best place in the world, isn't it, man? It's the best
100%,
place in the world. And that
100%.
kind of stuff is kind of normal.
Exactly.
But that is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Chris, thank you so much for coming in.
No bother
This
at all, mate.
has been the Brass Neck Podcast. I have been Jack Jester. He has been Chris Toal. And if you ain't down with that, we get 2 words for you.
Fuck off.
Beat it! A fine wee lass, a bonny wee lass, it's bonny wee Jeannie McCall. I gave her my mother's engagement ring and a bonny wee tartan shawl. I met her at a wedding in the Cooperative Hall. I was the best man and she was the belle of the ball. The very first night I met her, she was awfully shy. The rain came pouring in, but she was happy, so was I. We ran like mad for shelter and we landed up a stair. The rain came pouring out in my bricks, but och, I didn't care, cause she's a fine wee lass, a bonny wee lass, it's bonny wee Jeannie McCall. I gave her my mother's engagement ring and a bonny wee tartan shawl. I met her at a wedding in the Cooperative Hall. I was the best man and she was the belle of the ball.